Well, in America, the number of churches involved in adoption and foster care has dropped substantially in the last 5 years. One church in Ohio is changing that trend. The congregation has risen to the challenge by providing loving homes for foster children in need of families. CBN's Brody reports.
It may surprise you that America ranks third in the world for having the most orphaned children. Almost 400,000 live in foster care, and less than half of them are adopted each year. Here in the small town of Kinsman, Ohio, a local church is hoping to change that by sharing hope and loving one child at a time.
And I was just alarmed that 140 kids were in our backyard, and literally 10 minutes from my house is our Trumbull County Children's Services.
4 years ago, Pastor Jordan Beal discovered that 140 children in his county lived in group facilities in need of foster families. His church, Rock of Grace, seeks to transform Trumbull County by partnering with County Children's Services to help provide loving families for these kids.
40 kids have come into care, and then many more have just been given respite in the last 4 years, and then 5 adoptions. I did not know it was going to take off like that.
Melissa and Jason Crisp are part of the Children's Outreach. Married 24 years with 4 of their own kids, they've fostered 9 children in the last year and a half.
You're being a positive part of their life. You're making an impact on them that you hope lasts their whole life.
Hoping to eventually adopt, his wife calls the hardest part having to say goodbye and hand them to a responsible family member after building a loving relationship. Still, they're learning to trust God's timing.
I have had to learn to really trust God with kids' lives that I love, that I have no control over anymore. And that's a lot. That's a lot.
Pastors nationwide are encouraging their congregations to consider foster care and adoption, especially now that adoptions have declined here. Lifeway research shows less than half of those in U.S. Protestant churches are actively involved in an orphan ministry.
Guess how many orphans are in Ohio? 5,000. And so you think about how many churches.
James 1:27 says for us that undefiled religion is to take care of the orphans and the widows. So I feel like God is charging us with that to take action. I think every church could be a part of it and really literally change the world.
The same study shows the number of churchgoers providing foster care has dropped almost 10% over the last 5 years.
When we were first casting this vision, Danielle's like, we should do this. And I'm like, no, this is for them.
Pastor Beal's vision became clearer after stepping out in faith with his wife Danielle to adopt a little boy named Lucas, adding to their family of 4 daughters.
There you are. Oh, there you are. Every church's calling is different. So I get that. But to your question, should other churches do it? Yes.
For those not ready to foster or adopt, the church provides volunteer opportunities. Its family advocacy ministry puts foster families together with volunteers who help by cooking, cleaning, praying, and babysitting.
80% of foster families will continue fostering if they have a support system. But many of them will quit if they feel alone.
I mean, besides their regular, bringing meals, they called, they texted, they sent Bible verses, they just reminded us that it's good when it doesn't feel good,
And as the impact continues from the end of Roe v. Wade, experts predict growing stress on the foster care system.
More people, more Christians get involved, and I just put such a high priority on that. I mean, if we can lead more of these kids to Christ and at an early age, you can't beat that.
This campaign is just one example of how churches can make a difference in the lives of children in need. By providing support and care, they can help these children thrive and reach their full potential. Reporting in Kinsman, Ohio, Brody Carter, CBN News.
Well, pure and undefiled religion is taking care of widows and orphans, and let's do that. Let's mobilize churches to handle this foster care. And it is a crisis when you look at America and say we're number 3 in the world. Well, let's take that number down to 0, and churches in America can do it. Well, you can learn more. If you want your church involved, you can learn more about this story at cbnnews.com. And I've got to say, Orphans Promise right here at CBN, if you want more information of how you can support foster care right here in America. There's a whole training program available through Orphans Promise. If you are interested, your family is interested, we want to get you educated on it. All you have to do is go to orphanspromise.org.